Football is back. European football, especially, is back. And we love it. We love to talk about it. It's very exciting. I don't know what league is the best league. I can say the Premier League. You can say La Liga. Someone else can say the Bundesliga. Someone else can even say the French league because they're the champions of Europe right now.
They're the champions of Europe.
Of course. So I'm excited it's back, and let's talk about it, man. This weekend, we saw some good games, really good games, but one stood out for me. Arsenal versus Man United, or Man United versus Arsenal, seeing that they were the home team. They
Yeah.
played against Arsenal. Arsenal won 1-0, and the biggest talk from that game wasn't about Arsenal going to a tough ground like Old Trafford and securing all 3 points. The biggest talk has been Arsenal were poor and the better team did not win. I'm like, what do you mean Arsenal were poor? Bro, in the history of Arsenal, since I know Arsenal in the Premier League, Arsenal have always won 1-0 away to Man United in the Premier
Yeah.
League. It's very hard for Arsenal to go there and slap
And
United.
win.
No matter the form United are on, it's a very difficult game. Of course, Arsenal didn't play the most fashionable football, but they got that win. So this is making me want to ask this question. In a big game like that, say Madrid, Barcelona, Bayern, Dortmund, Arsenal, Tottenham, or Arsenal United, or Arsenal Chelsea, do you see winning ugly as a negative thing? Is it bad to win ugly? Or are you supposed to go in such games and play fashionable football?
I don't know what winning ugly is. I just, as a Real Madrid fan, all we know is winning. I'm sorry. So you just win. It don't matter if it's ugly, if it's beautiful. When it matters, you win. Going to an away ground like Old Trafford, from them having the most disastrous season that they've had
Yeah.
in the Premier League era, you should know that going there will be the most difficult thing that you're going to face, of which it was, because it was a beautiful game where United kind of like, let's say, dominated more, but it's not like they had clear-cut chances, but they had the game like under control in a way, but Arsenal did what they should have done. They kept the calm, especially the defenders. They were all fantastic, especially Gabriel. It was really beautiful to see him back again playing. And, it just shows how commanding he has been. And, Arsenal did the most important thing, win the match. That's what matters because at the end of the season, you don't want to finish second. You want to finish first. You want to win the league. And you want to look back and say, matches like this is why we're here celebrating. So that was a very good win for us. And congratulations for them for starting the season on a very high note, too. Like their fellow rivals, the defending champions, Liverpool, and also Man City. A new face Man City is out here. And I think Pep is ready to cook again.
Okay,
So.
before we talk about Pep's kitchen and whatever he's cooking, Arsenal scored early in that game. Usually, when you go away in a tough ground, you get the goal. Your first thought is to secure the lead.
Yeah.
So, do you think it would have been different if Arsenal didn't score early? Would we have seen a more attacking Arsenal side in that game?
I think so. I think the early goal, kind of like give Arsenal that edge there because if you observe, like I said, apart from the Doku's shot that hit the bar, the crossbar, and yeah, a couple of chances that came on in the second half. Like in the first half, I felt like Arsenal had the game under control. Yes, they had less possession, but as a team that's already been out there, being one of the best teams, I feel like they know how to play these games. So having that early goal already gave them like we have this game under control right now. So it goes by our pace. Of which Man U tried to change the pace of the game, but they still kept it under control. So even when the game became more intense, the coach, Ateta did what was right, taking out the fullbacks, knowing that they've been having a tough time and bringing in fresh new fullbacks, and he kept the game under control. So, like I said, I don't know what it means to win ugly. All I know it means to win, right? Like that's what matters to me, and that is what has always mattered when these kind of things are at stake, when there's a high stake match like this. So I feel Arsenal did everything they had to do to get the job done.
Okay, their new boy Victor Gyökeres, he had. I watched that game. I don't know what people are saying. In my opinion, he had a good game. because being a lone striker sometimes you need your attackers to flow well with you. You need them to connect with you. He didn't really get enough chances in that game. He tried to
Yeah.
create spaces for himself, and the kind of striker he is a striker who loves to be right there in the box to get goals. That's how you get goals. You can't be like a
Yeah.
Gabriel Jesus running from flank to flank. You're not going to score goals that way. But he tried his best to be in good positions, and let's not undermine the abilities of the United defenders.
They were
Delict,
solid. Delete
Delict,
was
Euro,
solid. Yeah.
good players. They tried their best to stop him, and he only played like an hour in that game, 60 minutes, but he tried his best. But what we are seeing online and from so-called analysts is that now we know why he didn't succeed at Brighton. I'm like, this is just one game, not even a full 90 minutes, brother.
Well, the thing you need to understand is the Premier League is back, so we have a lot of analysts and a lot of social media influencers, dropping very weird and silly takes,
For
on the
clout.
game. Yeah, for cloud chasing. And the worst part is that, you see big channels bringing up these weird opinions, that people bring up on social media, and, it becomes a debate. Like the one I saw about changing the captain from Odegaard,
Tony
uh,
Adams.
to
What do
yeah,
you think of
Tony
that?
Adams. Well, I think that's first off, that's disrespectful to Odegaard because he's been a good leader so far, right? Like, yes, you can have Declan Rice being a physical leader out there on the pitch. You can lead without having the armband. That's what I'm. Did you understand? So it's not about a reflection of Arteta on Odegaard. No, it's about who has been his leader in the team.
Should I tell you what
And
it is? And I'm not scared of anyone right now. I'm going to say this with my full chest. Bro, it's about Tony Adams wanting an Englishman to be the captain of Arsenal.
I
Because
think
if you
so.
watch Arsenal properly, Declan Rice is vocal, but you know who the most vocal player in Arsenal is? Give me the name.
Gabriel.
Good.
Yeah,
The most vocal player, the real leader in that Arsenal team is
exactly. It's
Gabriel. And he
Gabriel.
has been there
Yeah,
longer than Declan Rice. Why
yeah,
why didn't he
exactly.
why he was a six, he played as a six too. So
Yeah, yeah.
why didn't he say Gabriel? He just wants an
Mhm.
Englishman to be there, and that's it. That's just the
I think
sentiment about
so.
it,
I
because
think so,
it
because
was so unfair what he said about Odegaard.
yeah, because when I heard it, I was just I it was just it gave me this weird feeling like, this sounds very sentimental, but I was trying to see reasons with it. But when you look at Odegaard, like I said, he has been a leader right from when he's been a kid. He started playing football at 16 at the biggest club in the world, with the pressure to being there playing with these guys and going out on loan, trying to still prove the level he's got, and to come here and be with this Arsenal team and leading them, to even though they haven't crossed the finish line, but finishing second three times on a row, it shows the kind of mentality he has, and not just that, it shows that the team has grown as a unit. So that's why I say, sometimes we have these takes from different people, opinions, and they come up, and then it becomes a huge thing where everyone starts talking about it. But I'm a believer that, most of these managers, they have their teams closely knitted, that, they don't let the outside noise
Nah, they
disturb.
shouldn't. I think if you really
Yeah,
let what people say from the outside affect you, then you are not qualified to be a professional. I'm not
yeah,
saying you are not human, like Victor
yeah, I
Boniface
know.
and Frank
Yeah,
Onyeka said on their podcast. Sometimes
yeah.
they see all of these things, it gets to them, but it's a business where everyone sees you and everyone has the right to criticize
To
you.
create,
So
yeah, to
you
create
just
an opinion
don't.
about you.
What should matter is what your coaches say and maybe your family members. Every other thing is just out of the way. Now let's talk about the other games. You're talking about Pep cooking in Man City. I made a tweet that I actually regret, and may Man City forgive me for tweeting that. It was the first half, City versus Wolves. The way
Yeah,
the game started, I don't know why I did that. Maybe out of jealousy. And I tweeted, I said, Man City looks so ordinary in this game. And then I left, I came back, and I saw the full time score.
but yeah.
Bro, I wish I could eat my words properly and drink a very cold bottle of juice, because they made me eat my words well. And they're actually back.
Yeah,
They are
I
not
think
they are not
new
playing
face.
they don't play the pretty football as much.
Yeah,
Their style has changed. but they are back.
evolving.
Yeah.
I think, it just shows you how brilliant of a coach that Pep is. Yes, he always has the backing with the funds, to get the right players when he needs them. But you can see they got the right players, they got quality, especially in Reinders, you can see him controlling the midfield. I don't think, even though they'll have Rodri out for a while, I don't think they'll be missing him that much because, with Reinders, they have the team under control. Then for me, Ryan Cherky is an absolutely amazing talent. Like I've always followed him from when he was young. He started playing, I think, around 16 at Lyon. And there was a time when Zinedine Zidane was, thinking about like like talking to Real Madrid to watch out for this kid. And he has the brilliance of his football brilliance, rather, like his football intelligence, rather. It's so amazing because he has the ability to use his left foot and his right foot,
I
and he
was gonna
knows how
ask
to hit
you
the ball hard.
what's his strong foot?
It's a left. So it's his left foot that is the strongest foot, but he has the ability to hit the ball with so much pace. I've watched a lot of training sessions where he did things that were, that I don't think should be normal. Like the way you give him a pass with his left foot, he hits it the same way he hit it with his right. So he's a very technical player, and you could see it in the France game where they lost in the UEFA Nations League to Spain, where France lost because, but they brought him from the bench and he gave Kylian Mbappe this amazing assist and also scored. So he's a player that I think along the line, like in the long run, City are really going to enjoy, from him. But I think Man City is back, and Liverpool, the defending champions too. They've shown us that they have, a lot of quality, a lot of attacking talents, but with what we've seen so far from the first two games, that's the Community Shield and the first game. Um, I think, their defense, I think because they also have a new face defense with the new two fullbacks, but
They got a new centre back too. The guy who is as tall as
yeah,
Van Dijk. What's his name again?
yeah,
Loni or something.
Loney, yeah, from the
Italian
Italian
league. Yeah.
defender. Yeah, so and they're also rumored to be interested in getting Maguire. So I think that is also very good for us, Real Madrid, because I have a strong feeling that anything where Maguire signs, that means Konate will most likely be coming to Real Madrid next season. So let's watch out and see. I will come back to this table. But yeah, so I think Liverpool, they're doing well when it comes to creating chances, being explosive, but they've been a little bit shaky with their defense. And the season is just starting, but everyone has started well. Even Tottenham,
Bro,
another thing
imagine
people
if
are forgetting.
imagine if Tottenham gets Eze. It's very
Yeah.
close right now. You know.
It's, yeah, very close. 55 million pounds plus 5 million add-on. So, and I think one thing people are forgetting is that Thomas Frank has been a brilliant coach at
Yes.
Brentford. He did an amazing job, and people are now understanding that this is a new face Tottenham with a new coach, new ideas. So we're not seeing the same. And now they're coming off a season where they've won a trophy. So we cannot bring out the card or play jokes and say, "Oh, if you're going to Tottenham, you're retiring from winning trophies." No, that joke
But
doesn't fly again.
I've got a question. Ange Postecoglou was sacked. Now we've seen Thomas Frank come in, and this is his first transfer window, but he seems to be getting a lot of support. Look back, do you think Ange got enough support in the transfer market as much as Frank is getting right now?
Well, I would say he got support because they had a lot of players that they
He
recruited.
got Timo Werner.
Yeah, but he got Manchester. He got
Tell
Tel
was
too.
just in January last this year, so it wasn't
So
that long
you
ago.
know, Timo Werner was his choice, and by the time he realized that the player was not, still meeting up to standards, it was really a little bit too late. And also, he got hit too by a lot of injuries. That was one of the
Yeah,
major problems. So you cannot really say the club did not support the manager because they were there, and they because I feel like Tottenham even learned their mistake, like they learned rather from their mistake by sacking Jose Mourinho just before a final a cup final, right? Like making that, like learning from that and keeping the manager to make sure, okay, let's see if he can get us across the finish line, then we can still start on a new foundation and with bright ideas. So I think at that point, letting go of Postelogo was a little bit harsh. But looking now at the team with Thomas Frank, with the way they held their ground against PSG, even though they fell short again at the last moment in the UEFA Super Cup, it shows that the team is really on the right trajectory with players like Kudus, and with the addition of Eze, it's going to be a team that most Premier League teams need to be very, very, very aware of them.
Quick question here.
Yeah.
I know you love him so much, Mohamed Kudus, but let's be honest. If you had a team, who would you go for? Bukayo Saka or Kudus?
Don't like this spot you're
Who is
putting
the
me in. It
better
just,
player, Kudus or Saka?
I would say, I don't know. I think it's just a choice and preference
Bro,
thing.
don't be political, man. Pick
No,
an answer.
no, yeah,
Who?
because like I would say, I like Kudus a whole lot. I think Kudus has a very high ceiling. I don't think he has actually gotten to the point where he should get to. That's my belief, right? But I've watched Saka. Saka has been a very important player at Arsenal. He has gone from playing left back, to becoming the most important player in Arsenal. And, just because of that and the level which he's at, Saka, at the moment, even his performance against Real Madrid, I definitely will have Saka over Kudus as the better player. But what I'm saying is that I think Kudus has a higher ceiling than Saka. But sometimes it's not about having a higher ceiling. It's about whether you can always get to that point. Because if you remember, I've always said that my personal point of view, I think Rodrigo has a higher ceiling than Vinicius Junior. But Vinicius Junior he has already gotten to the point where he was trying to win the Ballon d'Or, where, he can say, I feel like he's been robbed of the Ballon d'Or trophy. So but Rodrigo hasn't even gotten there yet. He wasn't even nominated the last time, and now we're even talking about a situation where Real Madrid are contemplating if they should let him go or not. So that's what I'm saying. You can have a higher ceiling more than a player, but it's if you can get there. But I think Kudus, with Tottenham, I think Kudus can, if he can perform, to the level or a little bit higher that we are expecting him to perform, and let's say Tottenham makes it or gets to the top four, I think Kudus might just get a bigger move again in the next 3 years. Like that's my prediction, and
Yeah,
then
to
that's
Real
what.
Madrid.
It might not be real. It might not be real. It might be Bayern Munich. It might be City. But I feel like, oh, it might be
Wait,
Liverpool.
what do you mean now? What do you mean?
It might.
Are you saying Tottenham will remain an average club?
They're not really an average club at the moment because if you remember, we always add them to the big six in England, right? So, but when you look at it from a perspective that as a footballer, as an athlete, you want to take that next step in your career where, okay, even though Tottenham, you have the possibility of winning trophies there, but if you want to, like maybe leave a legacy, let's put it that way. Because, for instance, Mohamed Salah is not going to play forever. Maybe in 3 years' time, he might be leaving Liverpool. Who knows? Kudus might just be the perfect replacement, right? At that point, a big money move again. So that's what I'm saying. But if he has to maintain that level
How
for
old?
him to.
How old is Kudus right now?
He's 25 now. So he might be 28 at that point where, that might be the peak of his career. So
The boy is strong
he's,
though.
he's
Do you remember what you said a few years ago? You called him the best ball carrier in the world.
Yeah, I know, and he has been showing it. I don't even know if you watch, there was a Tottenham preseason game where he did something really exceptional from the touchline. And I still think he has what it takes to stand out as the best ball carrier in Premier League this season. So it just depends on how Tottenham evolve, how it evolves with the team and how they grow.
Okay.
So I'm really happy with Tottenham, with the move, like letting Son move on, so that they can have a fresh team, a new team with fresh faces, and giving Romero the captain band and even extending his
His
contract
contract, yeah.
because, yeah, I think he's a solid defender that can really lead the team, in this new era. So I'm excited for what Tottenham is going to bring to the table because I feel like they might be the dark horses this year when it comes to the Premier League.
Well, they always are most times. Uh, now let's before we talk about Real Madrid quickly, we'll just wrap up on the Premier League. Sunderland came back and bro, they slapped West Ham three
They were
nil.
cooking.
They that game that game felt like Arsenal versus West Ham or another bigger team versus West Ham. You couldn't tell this was a team who just came from relegation. Of course, they've invested in the team. They've got some new signings. They've got a great leader in the midfield in Granit Xhaka, who was almost like a
Yeah.
coach in that game. And their wingers,
Mm.
man, they've got even Simon Adingra
Yeah.
from Brighton.
Yeah, Brighton. And also their center back, Ballard.
Bala was an Arsenal player.
Yeah, I remember.
Yeah,
He's an exceptional talent. I don't know, like I'm
he's
being
very
honest,
strong.
I know what I saw. Yeah,
He's
like
very very
that's a
strong.
player I have to watch out for. And for people that do FPL, I think that's a defender that you have to look out for.
All right. You just brought up the FPL. Let's talk about it in 1 minute. Then we'll just wrap up the
Mhm.
Premier League. On Soft Sports, we had an FPL.
Yeah.
How is it going? Are we going to continue this season?
I think we have to, I think we have to get it dialed in because I already had my team the first week. I had 75 points. It was a good weekend, but I think, we have to get back to it again and because it's an exciting thing that,
Is there a way for other people to join in case there's any of our supporters here or followers who want to join?
yes, we can put out the link out, for anyone who's interested in joining,
Okay.
and I know maybe they might be hoping and looking forward to winning a prize, but yes. Whoever wins the top three are gonna go home with something this time.
That's it,
So
yeah?
yeah,
Handy has said it. Top three on the Soft Sports FPL gets a prize.
yeah,
Wallahi, I'm going to be number one this season. I'm going to show
not a
you.
chance.
I know
Not,
last season, true confession, last season I was bottom. And that was because I didn't play for most of it. I didn't
yeah,
play for most of it. But the few weeks, you remember my fullback? I had Robinson as fullback. Robinson from Fulham,
yeah.
and
Robertson Fulham,
he
yeah,
did
he
stack a lot
delivered.
of
Yeah,
points. You
he was
know,
in my team too. Yeah,
so
and the good part about FPL was Dean Hodgson. I had him throughout the entire season in my FPL, and that was one of the reasons why I kept on watching him. And I was elated when Real Madrid decided
and
to
then you
sign
call you
him
call
because
Perez, Papa
yeah, I was like,
Perez.
yeah,
You've got someone
daddy,
here.
you have to get him. Get him. And I'm that's like moving forward to Real Madrid and I'm looking forward to the season. I'm really excited about the adventure that we're going to start from today. And I think this is going to be a very good season for Real Madrid. I'm very optimistic about the
Are you gonna win
possibilities
the
of
league? Are you gonna win the
I
league this
think
season?
I think we're going to win the league and I would see how far we'll go in the Champions League, but I believe we'll be right there. I think this the team is getting to a point where they are understanding the ideologies of Xabi Alonso. And in my opinion, I'll keep saying it. Yes, you might not say he has been proven enough, but he has done enough for me to know that he's a manager that can take Real Madrid to the next level and to play beautiful football while also, being very, very idealistic in the plans that we are trying to make. So the inclusion of trends, Carreras, especially Carreras, he's an amazing player. And the most important of them all, Dean Huijsen, to me, who I believe is the best passer of the ball, right now in the Real Madrid team. I also
In
saw an
in
interview.
the entire team.
Yeah, I saw an interview where Modric and I think Valverde, they compared his passing technique to that of Toni Kroos.
Wow.
He knows how to distribute the ball, so he's going to be very vital and important to Real Madrid. And you could see it in the match against PSG where he wasn't there, how the team struggled and, suffered it. But I believe, not just him, but the whole team is getting the ideas and the ideology of and what's his name? Xabi Alonso.
But is it
So
not weird that we're talking about the center half and what we are speaking more about is his passing abilities instead of his defensive abilities?
well, but because the game has evolved to the point where, people
That's
play it
true.
out from the back. So, you need to have a player that you can trust at all times. And I'm being honest, there were times when I don't think Courtois really wanted to pass the ball to Raul Asensio or Rudiger last season. And I could see that against PSG. Like, that was a thing. So, but when you have a defender that you trust, that no matter how you give him the ball, he can always distribute it. It gives you the confidence you need as a goalkeeper to always know how to play it out from the back. But yeah, for his defensive qualities, he's absolutely amazing too and fantastic. And just having that fresh air, better fresh air, and also in the one preseason game we had, we saw Alonso playing Alaba from the midfield. So it might be a thing that we'll be seeing a lot this season. And we all know Alaba has played there for Austria, and he has the quality when he's
That's
fit.
actually his preferred position. He's a
Yeah.
midfielder. I think it was
So
from midfield, then he went to left back, and it was Pep
yeah.
who turned him into a center half.
Think about yeah.
Yeah.
So I think he's gonna be a sub for Chouameni in the midfield, depending on Camavinga just got injured again, but yeah, he's not going to be out for long. But let's see. Like I said, I'm positive about the team, the like our chances of winning the league and hopefully going all the way to the Champions League.
Okay, for the FPL, when we get the link to be posted on our X platform or Twitter platform, you go there, you find it there, and you feel free to join the FPL. It's gonna be exciting. Let's see your ball knowledge. Let's test your ball knowledge. Let's know if you actually know football, like you say. And quickly before we wrap up, who's gonna win the Premier League this season, and the teams that you think will be relegated? Your prediction.
Wow, that's a huge one. So I think the Premier League winners for the 2025-2026 season, I'm going to be a little bit controversial.
Yeah.
They're going to be Arsenal. I think this is just the year that Ateta will get the respect, will earn the respect that he deserves.
Oh, look at me smiling.
And 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 yeah, I think for the teams that are going to relegate, I'm sorry, I cannot just, mention, teams right now. Like I need to see how they evolve because we just had our first game. But if I have to judge from the first game, I'll say West Ham will need to be very, very attentive this season because they also just got a new manager, and I don't know how, if they get to lose Paqueta, which I've been saying that he wants to leave the club. So I don't know how it's going to be, but so far from the first matches that we've watched, West Ham needs to, tighten their seatbelts. And yeah, that's
Okay.
like the only thing.
What about La Liga? Who's gonna win?
My league, I know Real Madrid is winning the league this
But,
season.
but that was a silly question to ask
No,
actually.
it's not. No, it's not even about me being a Madrid fan. It's about the fact that I know how difficult it is to win the league back to back in recent times in La Liga, right? And coming out with a new coach, a new manager, I know Barcelona will be doing everything to defend the title, but I think the league is more important than winning any other thing. Like that's where you show your dominance. So I think that's why I know like Javi Alonso will be doing everything possible to make sure that he gets the league title this year.
Okay, what's priority for Real Madrid? Champions League or La Liga?
All the trophies.
God, man, the pride, man. Real Madrid. I hate talking about Real Madrid
It,
with you.
it is what it is. You see, when you look at the crest, you see, you have to look at it properly. You understand that you see the
I'm
crown.
gonna blur that part out when I'm editing.
Mm. You see the crown. You see the crown.
I'll replace it with the Tottenham's chicken. Okay, and for those of you wondering why
Uh,
Mr. Fairplay is not here, don't worry. He's on an assignment in
yeah.
Abuja. He's actually covering some things and some good content will be coming out from Mr. Fairplay very soon. Let's keep our fingers crossed on that. And thank you so much, Handy. We've talked beautiful football today. Hopefully, next time we'll get to add more. But for now, it's enough time and it's time for us to go see some games. I think right now I'm going to watch. I'm not proud to. I'm proud to say it, but I'm not very confident. But I'm gonna watch Nigeria play in the Chan competition. It's sad, right?
Mm. I'm sorry, I won't be joining you in trying to get into a depressed state. So I'm only going to drink water and wait for Real Madrid's match. So hala Madrid fan.
Up the Super Eagles, whether we win the chant or not. Niger for life. Thank you so much. My name is Sasepi and I've had Handy with me. Please make sure you like, you follow us, you subscribe to this channel. It's very important. Okay, go on our other platforms, Twitter, Instagram, TikTok. We have beautiful content that we drop there, all concerning sport. And it's exciting if you do that and engage with us. Thank you so much. We'll see you next time.